Hey everybody. Is it a Man-Sant stream if I'm not just criminally late for something that I scheduled to go live? No, that's my life. Hey everyone, Nick, Gaddy, Wumperfruit, hiya. Really, apologies. I totally forgot that I was streaming today. I was just in the midst of working on some stuff that is, it is work things that are due today, so they were important. It wasn't just like, off on Twitter, I promise. But here we go. Finally, almost sticking to the complete schedule of the week. We got our Levia Mondays. We've got our New Deck Wednesdays. Unfortunately, this week, like I mentioned, I can't do the in-person game nights on Thursday like I wanted to because I'll be driving to Charlotte tomorrow so that I can stream the Battleharden this weekend for you all. And that's going to be a really exciting weekend. There are tons of spoilers, obviously, all the way through Saturday, Sunday, and then the box breaks on Monday. So hopefully the Battleharden stream will just be a way for people to hang out, just have some conversation in the chat, talk about the spoilers that are coming through while we enjoy the last chapter of the Dynasty meta, because that's it. This is the last big event before Outsiders comes to us all. So it'll be probably more of the same, more Oldhim and Icelander, Dash probably making a splash now. But hey, it'll still be a Flesh and Blood weekend, and it'll be a lot of fun. So hopefully y'all are there. But today, the plan was going to be to play something new. I want to use Wednesdays as a bit of a primer for the game nights that I'm going to start doing on Thursdays, where, we just start trying new things so that I can feel a bit more familiar with some of the newer decks that are performing. Because I definitely have a decent basis on the older pieces of the metagame. I've played my fair share of Fi, Bravo, Azalea now, Icelander, but there are newer decks that I just haven't explored. So one of them is Iris Dromai, and probably a little late to the party, in all honesty. Iris Dromai had its day doing well at the UK Battlehardened by Scott Howling Minds, who was actually in the chat all through stream on Monday. So Scott, if you're watching the VOD or if you're in here, hello. So yeah, I think I want to play some of this today, and we'll see how I do. I was never a Prism player, and for whatever reason, this deck just doesn't scare me away the same way that Prism did. Prism was just terrifying to me. I just feared that matchup because of how much of a Scabskins game it became when I was playing Levia. It just felt like it was never in anyone's control. It wasn't in the Prism's court. It wasn't in my court. It was just up to the die. So I just feared that matchup, and because of it, I just never really played the opposite side of it either. Never really played Prism. But Iris Dromai is kind of that weird, spicy flavor that makes me more enticed to give it a go, even though it is just a dirty illusionist deck that's trying to you double aura and just steal the game. But I love my 1 card for force. I love that rate. That's a Levia rate right there. So let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. I feel like the music is really imbalanced. This microphone is not as loud as I really want it to be. I think it's one of those that's supposed to be really close to my face. But I can't really do that without super obstructing my view. But we'll try. Let's put it a little bit closer, and you all can let me know. I do apologize. The chat is now in subscriber mode. Kind of twofold. Number one, there's always those bots, the corn bots, let's say, that pop in and just spam things, and it's pretty annoying to handle because I don't really have mods that hang around and deal with that. So number one, subscriber mode does get rid of that, and second of all, we got to remember that on YouTube, subscribing is totally free. So why not click it if you're enjoying what you're watching? It's kind of weird because we've got Twitch, a platform where subscriptions cost money, but then you've got YouTube where subscriptions are free. On Twitch, there's a lot of streams that are follower only chat to combat bots and just drive engagement. On YouTube, subscriber only is our parallel of that. It just sounds a lot scarier because we're cued to think subscribing costs money because of Twitch. But I promise you it doesn't. It is completely free, and it gives me a good metric of who's really engaging with the content, who's watching it, and hopefully helping it grow. So I don't monetize YouTube, so this is a nice way to at least get something back from the streams, because I'm really not trying to push making money or anything like that from the streams. I'm doing this for fun. Now that I've got everything handled on the battle-hardened end of it, and hopefully the calling end of it, finances are in order. These streams are just for fun. There's nothing I'm trying to get out of it. So hopefully the subscribers are, the one thing. That number makes me feel happy, and it should make all the League of I feel happy. Look how big the community is. Wumpa Fruit says, I play this a bit. I don't understand how you can get ahead on the aura count with someone who just pops every turn. It's burn them all, crowning and burn them all, or Mage Master. Yeah, so there's only a couple ways to get multiple auras out. It's really just Mage Master is like obviously the main one. Burn them all because it will stick as long as you can keep clearing the reds from graveyard. You can also spam with Prismatic Shield. There's some destruction effects like Phantasmal Haze that will give you a Spectral Shield as well. There's of course popping Miraging Metamorph, although that's not in your own control. Then you also have Crown of Reflection, which in this deck is like pretty unique because you can actually attack with the Spectral Shield, make it deal 4 damage, and then instant speed break the Spectral Shield, put a new aura in play, and swing with that one as well. Just make sure that you let the Spectral Shield attack like resolve, so you can do some cute stuff like that. So let's jump into a Talishar game. Actually start playing games. I promise I play games. Looking for Iris Dromai. Oh, this is perfect. Someone actually wants this matchup. I'll take it. Hello. Look at that. If this was a viewer, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to jump into a game. Now this is very much my first time playing the deck. Very much my first time playing the deck. So I expect to do pretty horribly. I think this is a matchup where it really sucks for them to clear auras, but we still need to play defensive at the same time. They also don't have many poppers. I wonder what that means for sideboarding. It's probably still better to not really... Yeah. Got you. It's probably still better to go for more defensive equipment, even though double auraing is pretty strong. The defense might be another way we just win the game, so let's try to balance that out. Phantasmal Footsteps over Mage Master might be the wrong choice, though. That's an interesting one. Ironhide over Wave. I think we'll try the full defensive equipment suite. And then the other thing that we'll probably want to balance out is the 2-card hands, like Phantasmaclasm, will still hopefully land pretty well. Also, yes, you see this does sideboard some dragons. Hopefully I get to show that off. But in this matchup, we're not going to worry about that. What would we swap? What's just a straight value trade for these Phantasmaclasms in the list? I don't know if Prismatic Shield is really that good in this matchup. I think it might be too slow, so let's try this. Let's try this. Wish we had a generic illusionist so Iris wouldn't steal the Dragon's Thunder. Well, this version tries to actually flip back and forth. Because aggro tends to be really bad for this deck, you just try to make your 2-card hands as powerful as possible, and that can include Vincerica, it can include Necria. For that, you switch over to the other weapon. Hopefully I can show that off. Alright, so let's... We could actually play the This Round's on Me, just to make their next turn worse. I don't see how that really punishes us here, because they definitely will have to block the Phantasmaclasm. So let's do it. And then we're even going to be pitching a red, which is nice now to make an ash for our future sand covers. But I would rather the Fate over the sand cover in Arsenal right now. So let's do it. Let's do it. Tiny bit of disruption. Tiny bit of disruption. Oh, this is fair, actually. Duh. Inexperience versus Ranger showing. They love making this play. So I probably should have just passed and then swung Phantasmaclasm to really punish and at least get 3 damage through. Because this is... They will get away with this Arsenal scot-free. But we at least have the Fate Foreseen to block out the Endless Arrow, so that's nice. Let's make sure they block with a red. And I'll give them the Winter's Bite back at the bottom of the deck. I'd like for them to block with arrows. There we go. They're blocking with 2 arrows. 3 arrows. Okay, well, I'll take that. I'll actually take that trade over giving them the Endless Arrow. I don't hate it. Alright, so we've got another 2-card hand play. That tends to be the first thing you start prioritizing with Iris Dromai. Alright, also let me know on the music. In my headphones, like, it seems really imbalanced. But within OBS, I changed it to hopefully be lower. Let me tinker with that just a tiny bit more. Let me know, let me know. It's a new microphone. Plug. I'm giving away my older microphone, the Blue Yeti that I used to use. I'm giving it away this weekend as part of the stream. Felt like it was time for an upgrade. And right now it was fused with Channel Lake Frigid. Well, ideally then, keeping a 2-card hand is going to be rough because I'll just leak damage somewhere along the line. It's going to be blocking here and then likely paying in with a blue. Sorry, opponent. It is hard to play decks that you don't really feel comfortable with. I think I'll just do this and happily start paying with a blue. Oh, wait, that's the Frostbite one. Oh, Jesus. Thought that was the one that makes you discard or pay. Oh my god. Oh, I don't play Fab enough anymore. I don't play Fab enough. Oh, well then this does kind of throw things. Does kind of throw things. Because then we need to keep this full hand for the Fighting Spirit, which doesn't feel great. Well, then I guess we just block the entire turn. It's no biggie. Block the entire turn, keep the Fate Foreseen. Don't hate that either. I'm not really sure I'm trying to get better at Iris Dromai. Like, I just want to play the deck so I understand it a bit better. Not like I'm really scared of this matchup, especially since it seemed to be a very niche choice for a metagame that is about to drastically change, right? Like, with Outsiders, I doubt this deck sticks around. Outsiders seems to be a faster set. Okay, so good play by them. Just leaving me with the Frostbite actually means I can't do anything. Because they didn't shoot the Endless Arrow out there. It was too easy for me to block. So good play on my opponent. We pass. That would have been a nice turn to have our blue be an aura, so we could at least just dump it out. Sure, I'll pay. We'll get this blue out. If we want to play the Fate Foreseen, it's going to cost us these 2 floating anyway. And we probably will. We don't really care about the reload here. Because they can't, because of the Endless Arrow, so I'd rather keep the Fate Foreseen to block the Endless Arrow. But I don't really think us throwing damage is more relevant than us blocking. At the same time, keeping this kind of hand feels decent, so I guess we might block with the Findles. Huh, weird choice, weird choice. I think I'm just gonna block this turn. Go like this. Pay for the Tunic on the Endless Arrow, or pay, not for the Tunic, pay for the Fate Foreseen with these. Arsenal the Miraging so that we get our Tunic Miraging play off. Might be okay. So actually, I should have... Well, I didn't know they were going to shoot a yellow Bolton shot here, but it would have been nice to probably get the Pierce Reality on the block there. Save the 3 block for later. As of now, they haven't really set up anything scary to match this pitch stack, though, so it's not like I'm going to get blown out with a huge, like, 3-of-a-kind red arrow turn necessarily. Pitching my blue 2 block here. And then there's the Endless Arrow, which we're going to Fate Foreseen. Phantasmaclasm. Actually don't mind that on top. In theory, that's going to be 2 red plays back-to-back that are pretty relevant. So, yeah, let's keep that on top. Alright, well, kind of a boring trade so far. But basically, all that's happened is they've spent 9 cards, I've spent 7 cards. For no life difference. And we both counted up our tunics. Exciting gameplay as of yet. Exciting gameplay. Man, that's what it feels like to use your tunic without having to pay for Channel Lake. Seems pretty good. Seems pretty nice. This hand is interesting. If they stick the channel, that's going to suck for how I want to play this hand. But they probably won't. It's even awkward now, though, because what do I do with the sand cover, right? I'm tempted to just block 6. This kind of looks like a Rainrazor's play. I think I'm okay with that. A Lightning Press. Ooh. All right, so it's 1 damage through to get an endless arrow back, which is likely pretty potent on this kind of turn. So they could, in theory, shoot a bolt-in shot, which reloads the endless arrow, and then load in 1 more arrow to shoot and get the endless. In theory, it could be 4 arrows wide. So paying for the fate, or rather paying for the sand cover, seems vaguely correct. Just want to deny the endless arrows, I think. I'll do it. Two cards to block 1 damage. Value. Value. I'm definitely going to eat some other things from whatever's being launched my way now. Oh, this doesn't have go again. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, because this was from our previous turn. Or they revealed that, so that is just like the end of their turn. So not a really terrifying turn cycle. Channel does break, which means I get to do Tunic for Miraging, which feels good. Tunic for Miraging. Although having a block with 3 good reds is definitely going to hurt the damage that I can potentially throw. Spirit, Phantasmaclasm, Miraging Metamorph. Oof. Turn this down a little bit more. Alright, you know what? Maybe subscriber only mode in the chat is more detrimental than beneficial. Like, blocking those corn bots is definitely nice. But I do miss just the casual viewer tuning in who's just interested in Flesh and Blood because perhaps it's a new game. And they're not really committed to subscribing yet, even though it's free and doesn't harm anybody. Could be wrong on my read of what subscriber-only mode means. No harm. Woohoo! Hey, Allison. Allison supports that idea. We're all in for, free range subscriptions here. No harm. All organic. Okay, another Channel Lake Frigid. I can't just block forever. I also definitely don't want to block with Burn Them All. And we do have enough reds that it would stick around for quite a bit of time. We just can't do the, Burn Them All, Shimmers, Pass because of Channel Lake Frigid. That hurts. We also don't get, a clean E-Strike playoff. That hurts. They did play double Icequake, so I can't even just, block here, let it hit, and then still return, Shimmers and Miraging for 2-card 7. That doesn't work, because it'd be 3 tax. So this still sucks, but I think I just block 8. All my reds are going on defense. Don't enjoy it. But I guess it will fuel the Burn Them Alls at least. And that at some point will be a big deal. At some point. You've won your last few armories on Dromiris, and you're loving her? Oh, Veda, please give me advice then. I'm sure I'm punting this game left and right and center. I don't know much about the deck. I want to at least know what it feels like to be behind it. That's kind of going to be the point of the Wednesdays. The Wednesdays are going to be more for my own learning, whereas Mondays when I play Levia is going to be to hopefully impart more knowledge to the viewer, because I can at least speak towards a lot of things playing Levia that I can't on any other hero. Oh, Scott, you were summoned. I don't know, did you hear my intro? I legit shouted you out. This deck is, I don't know if you're the first to play it, but you definitely placed with it before anybody else. Doesn't have go again. Doesn't have go again from anything, right? They blocked with Perch Grapplers. So that was never a thing. Obviously no snaps. It'd be Razor, I guess. They're not sticking CLF. They didn't fuse it, so I could just eat 8 here and kind of have an aggro turn back. But is my turn even potentially aggro at all? It would just be, I could burn them all, swing burn them all, play Aura, Arsenal, Findles, I guess. That seems okay. That seems okay. So I think I'm going to let the E-Strike block for me then. Nothing I can do with it. This seems to be okay. Everything seems to be going decently. The game doesn't feel over like I was potentially expecting. I think my opponent just had a very clunky turn there. Very clunky turn. They used bracers, 3 of a kind. Channel didn't stick. Everything seemed to just go south. So let's start doing our own thing then. First illusion is attack action card you play each turn. We played a lot of red, so I think I would prefer to play... Actually, passing must not do anything in this matchup, really. It's only erase face that they have. But then that does protect us from these kind of things forevermore. Nah, just because we're seeing one here, I think I'll play the Pierce. So let's go 4 damage with the Burn Them All. As much as Lexi plays more poppers now, I still run Mage Masters this matchup. Yeah, I wasn't sure on that, like, where the game would take us. Would we have to be more defensive? We've got Brothers in Arms and stuff, so, like, Phantasmal tends to, you know, work hand in hand on those turns. Like, would we have to be more defensive? Is that how the game was going to play out? Or could we get ahead and play double aura, try to play with board advantage? And since I wasn't comfortable with the matchup, I went more in defense. Because at least when you play on defense, your opponent, you're giving your opponent more room to mess up. If I was the one trying to ask the questions, double aura quickly, and I'm not confident about it, then I'd be the one who could potentially mess it up first. And here we go, Brothers in Arms. Although now this is the kind of turn, right? We want to start keeping, in theory, like this. We go 4-8, drop aura, and just get ahead. That seems pretty nasty. Although the Pierce doesn't buff the aura swings, just what we play. Not like that was going to happen this hand. Siphon found themselves running mages in the majority of matchups. It could be a bad play, but there were a few times Footsteps did much. We have ways to make Ash. Oh, did Footsteps help make Ash? Okay, I think I get it. We were lucky to just make an Ash turn 1, and then we made like one more Ash on a CLF play, and like that's pretty much all we'll ever need to do, because the only thing Ash is good for is the sand cover. So they can't reload on the Bolton shot. It's just vanilla. So I think I'll let it through. The only card I could maybe block with is Fighting Spirit. But even that's optional. I could still go 4-8 swing Fighting Spirit. Could just be my turn. So I think let's just let this hit. It's not a big deal. Reload won't do anything with Erase Face. And does Erase Face actually stop Iris? Illusionist Auras. Yeah, so I do have to actually block the Erase Face. So I guess that makes that an easy choice. So this will block 4 Gauntlet. But that's sacking 2 cards. So then my turn is just swing Fighting Spirit? I don't like that. I guess the other way it could scale is here, here. Just sack a blue, and that way we do keep 2 blues, so we can at least swing 8. Or we just don't swing auras at all. Block like this, swing 7. Just don't even worry. It's kind of awkward. It does force us not to go super wide this turn. I think applying more pressure with all these auras, now that he ignored 2 of them, is important. So I think dropping an aura is probably fine. Drop an aura, pass. So that means I should do this and then pay with the Fighting Spirit and just drop an aura. I think I'm fine with this. That means we no longer need to make Ash because there's 2 more sand covers. So that's that. That answers that. All right, let's just play 3 auras out. We can just do that. Play 3 auras. We've got Tunic up to help on some defense now. You're mostly lurking while listening at work, but feel free to ask any questions. That was an interesting turn. I wouldn't mind outside perspective on whether that's right or not. I feel like once they ignore a double aura turn, even slowing down to make sure that my next hand is potentially live to swing 12 off 3 auras is probably the right play. But I could be wrong. We're just looking for the hand where it's like 4 blues and I can go swing, 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 finals. That'd feel pretty insane. Alright, so they're about to give me a frostbite. So that means the first swing is going to cost 4. I've got the Tunic for that, though, to still just make sure blues do it for me. Yeah, so I won't respond with Tunic now. No point. Phantasmal Haze swings huge here. Oh, true. Oh, yeah, the Pierces, we're going to buff it. Oh, yeah, so that's probably worth doing then, right? Just scaling back to that kind of play. Interesting. All right, that's double Icequake. So now things get a bit tougher. What's going on? All right, if they just don't draw an arrow here, what happens? That would suck. All right, they drew an arrow. They drew an arrow. Even your pokes like spears are up to 7 now. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because the blues are going to scale up, right? Like, all the blues tend to be even, like, illusionist attacks, right? To start getting the pierce buffs. So even all blue hands should feel pretty threatening. So this is coming in for 9. We do have this very clunky hand in terms of really being able to block it. They did fuse, so this is now giving 3 frostbites on hit. And it has go again, so there's likely another arrow. They showed Winter's Bite, but they can't play it from hand. So that does tell me that this other card must be an arrow. And they could potentially get the whole fuse shenanigans off, where they pay for 1, Tunic, shoot it. So I don't really think I get to throw the hand I want with Phantasmal Haze here. I'd love to, but I don't think I can. Because there's likely a second attack. So what I'd want to do then is just get the best block value possible out of this hand. Should be brothers. Trigger. Have 2 floating. The 2 floating could go to here. Phantasmal blocking on Blizzard doesn't make sense, though. It'd probably block the next thing fine. But then this hand, even with Tunic, won't be enough to turn. Frostbites are really tricky. I guess I'd also commit Crown to try to pull a new blue. And then maybe still swing Phantasmal off 2 blues. Sorry, think. Lots of on hits. Sorry, opponent. A lot of things to consider. Crown out Arsenal for a big hand. Yeah, I think that is where we're going to go this turn. So if it is here, then this is 4, 5, 6. We're still going to eat the on hits. We could also just kind of do this and wait for the second attack and see what happens. It's only 7 damage. And we just know we take the frostbites. I think let's do that. We should have more opportunities to choose on blocks here. We did get another blue. That'll help combat the frostbites. Oh my god, in my headphones the music is so freaking loud. I don't think it's coming through stream that way. So, sorry, let me turn this down. And then probably turn this up a little bit. It can't be an aura, it's a 3 of a kind turn. So it would have to be an arrow. Through Voltaire. Yep, there we go. So it's 4 frostbites. That's blue plus Tunic. So a whole blue plus tunic goes to just paying through frostbites. This is actually getting fused again. Pretty scary. So I think now's the time where we just lose 2 blues. Brothers in Arms, 4. Footsteps, 5. But that way we keep 2 blues and still swing Phantasmal. I think that seems okay. I think that seems okay. Let's do this. Yeah, these are both triggers, right? Yeah, they're both triggers. So let's pay... how does it matter on the pitch stack? We already pitched an aura, so let's make sure we have a 3 block in there. Alright, just making sure I did the math right. 6, 7, and this is going to cost 7. Yeah. Alright, well, we can do it. Hope they don't have an erase face. Oh, the arrow might be at an aura. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, it was a yellow. So there's a world there where yellow's not a good enough rate for my opponent and they do throw it at an aura. If it was a blue arrow, I think they definitely do that. But we're happy they threw it face, I guess. That was a huge turn. 3 card 12. Pretty good. Pretty good. I don't know, though. Oh. Hey, thanks for the subscription, Bosco the Rock. Thank you, thank you. All right, so we knew this was coming. Hey, Capello, good to see you. Hey, Capello, if you get here early enough, you can force me to play Dash. That's the whole point of Wednesdays. What deck Wednesday? What are we going to do? I'm playing new stuff, playing stuff I'm less comfy on. And you'd be a great person to give me pointers. Okay, well, obviously we're paying. I apologize, opponent. Actually, maybe we... No, we wouldn't discard. This is probably like just a defensive turn. We set up Arsenal. This means we can at least still play these on defense. Oof. They go end of turn? Oh my god, I suck at this game. Oh, okay. Whew. Opponent says, never mind. Maybe that's still something they could do, though. That's still something that they could do. I should keep that in mind. It could just be Winter's Bite end turn. And if that's ever the case, then what am I doing? Alright, they're still throwing Drill Shot at face. Interesting. So we'll sink. We'll try to sink into a blue. That'd be nice. E-Strike, playable. E-Strike is fine. Endless Arrow. Oof. Alright, well now I'm getting punished. Oh, okay. Geez, they did attack. My god, Talishar just like... There's no animations. That's right. It just... You attack an aura, turn just over. That is factually correct. The turn does end if that's what you do. Alright, well. I don't ever think you click draw a card in this deck. You could just brick on a blue. So 2 card 7 feels rough. This Burn Them All is getting like 0 value, but at least there's a lot of reds in the deck. I think the deck is like literally 30-30. And this is only my first Burn Them All still. So there is going to be a turn, maybe it's a turn like this, where they can't be full aggro. One of their cards was Remembrance, where I get to start flipping aggressive with it finally. I've already swung with it once, so it feels like decent value, but all that really means is I turn 2 cards into 4 damage. Once I swing it the next time, that means I turn 3 cards into 8. That's not as good. Once I swing it the 3rd time, that's when it starts looking good. Like, on rate, at least. 5th time breaks rate. Can we trick you into playing Dory on Wednesday? I'd play Dory. I played, there was a stream, I claimed I was a Dorinthia channel for a while. I just said, look, you know that new Sabres list? New Sabres list is hot. We're just going to keep playing it. I think I played it for 1 day and then stopped. But I was convinced. I really was loving that deck. Okay, they pass. So this is actually the perfect kind of hand, right? because we're going to spend all our blues on offense. Smack them with Burn, smack them with Pierce, smack them with Phantasmal Haze with Pierce buff. Pretty good. Starting to look pretty good. All right, Scott chimes in with the answer we were looking for. I think you prefer looking to hold the blue as a Winter's Wail this turn, just 0 for 4. Although, to be fair, a Winter's Wail was like 0 for 5. The card was nuts. Haze pays for the bite. D-reacts block. Yep, okay, I see what you're saying. So I should have just held the singular blue instead of E-Strike. Good. Good to know. The blues were definitely valuable, right? Like, they enable 4 damage. I just felt good on that sync. At least the sync hit the E-Strike. If it just hit some other red that was unplayable in that hand, it started to look really bad. But if it hit a blue, then I think turn looked a lot better, right? Just swing 4 Arsenal, a red. But the guarantee, knowing what the hand was, like how you're saying it, makes sense. I think you can keep tempo from here on out. Yeah, I agree. This is a huge swing. Like a huge swing. The fact that they just remembrance and then passed. Okay, they pop. Well, that's good news for them, but that does mean they only have a 2-card hand, and we now have a Spectral Shield going into a Tunic turn. Things could still be big for us. We have another Burn Them All. Our Burn Them All did just break, though. But this is still decent, right? Oh, wow. All right, off a 2-card hand, they're going for it. Rain Razor's 3 of a kind. Let's see it. I don't think I even want to play the Burn Them All yet. This is probably the Arsenal card. I just go Phantasmaclasm. Oh. Oh, that was their whole turn, though. God, why don't I have more blues? More blues would be sick. Yeah, there's no reason to actually actively play the Burn Them All. I can still swing one more time, though, if I give up Arsenal. I can use Tunic plus these 2 reds to swing into swing. Is that worth bottoming a Burn Them All, though? Is that worth bottoming a Burn Them All? I think it might be because I present lethal that way. Because this comes in for 11. This would come in for 11. Plus 4. 15. So they'd have to at least block with a New Horizon or a card. So I think it is worth it. Yeah. It is worth it. You're right. My reds are also burned out. That's a good thing to point out. I honestly have been neglecting that part of the deck because it was just so healthy for so long. But now it is the right time to start looking at that again. Okay, so they give us... That's definitely going to be a weak turn out of them. So we don't mind using this hand for pressure now. Because we know we're likely going to get passed into another high-pressure scenario. So let's bottom that arrow. If they draw an erase face, so be it. Oh, they block with their last Endless. I think we pretty much have this game unlocked now. Oh my god, my work is messaging me. Please don't need me right now. Okay. I mean, Fab's important, folks, but I can't lose my job, alright? 2-card 11, Pog. Yeah, that is a bit better. It's a bit better than what Levia can do, not gonna lie. That kind of rate, pretty darn good. I can do a 2-card 10. I can do a 2-card 10. Dread Screamer Ghostly. I can. But I can't do a 2-card 11. That's asking a lot. Yeah, job, Fab. That is why the streams are sparsed out the way they are. I would love to do streams every day. God, I would love it, but there does need to be a healthier balance of just, you know, not getting too behind on the work week. I'd say for the most part, Winter's Bite, so they're about to give me a Frostbite. Okay, it's fine. Once again, we're lacking the blues to really go hard. At least, no matter what, we should be able to stick one aura to swing with. But this turn is very weak. Not an aggressive turn from us. Oh! That one Frostbite. That one Frostbite. It's going to cut our dreams short. Unfortunate. So, does that mean I should swing with Spears instead? It's technically 1 more damage. I guess I should, right? Yeah, it's technically 1 more damage, and it might scare them. Nothing was lethal. Aura Swing, then Spear second. No, I had 1 Frostbite. Oh. Wait, no, yeah, I had one frostbite, so that wasn't possible, right? Yeah, yeah. That doesn't work anyway. I'm surprised at all the red hands that are coming through. It makes sense. Like, you do run a lot of red defensive cards. You run a lot of red aggressive cards. You've got the Burn Them Alls. It's part of your Aura suite that's also red. But I still am surprised. It does feel like there's a lot more than I figured. All useful cards, though. Nothing to really complain about. And E-Strike helps balance them out. It's just a turn like that where they start to feel bad. All right, so Winter Spite's coming through. Now we have the choice discard or pay. Losing a blue starts to feel really rough now because we want to be able to turn these into damage. So I think I'm just going to discard the Oasis. I can get like really punished for this though if then they just flip an ice card. That is a risk. That is a real risk. I can get really punished. Like, I don't even want the Oasis in my deck. I think I'd, like, and I don't need the Ash, so I think legit, I'm just going to discard it. There's such a punish here, but I'm willing to do it. We're ahead. We're ahead. And this is going to feel to burn them all as well. 24 red, 36 blue. Oh, actually, I think we can check. The deck says 30-30, but, like, you know, that includes the sideboard stuff, which is, like, all red. So I think that balance is about there. Okay, no ice reveal. We enjoy this. Wasn't... Oh, they Remembrance. That's how they have another Endless Arrow. I'm thinking, like, hold up. Like, we did see 3. What is this deal right now? They give it +1, so it's 5. They can attack us with Endless Arrow anyway, so I believe this we just eat, and so be it. If they Endless Arrow one of these, then we do lose both auras. And that starts to suck. So maybe I force that we do save at least one aura. I think I would rather do that. I want to force protect one aura because then this 3-card hand still swings 8. So let's give up the Tunic and the Sand Cover. I want to force protect an aura here. No, so Veda, do you follow what I think I'm thinking through correctly? Idea being, right, that like if I say no blocks on this, I'll lose Spectral Shield, and then they could Endless Arrow my Pierce Reality, and then this hand doesn't do 8 damage. It deals 4, and then leaves me with a clunky blue. So I think by forcing the defense there, then whether this Endless Arrow goes face and I eat it, whatever, and I lose the Spectral Shield, or whether it goes to Pierce Reality, I keep one aura and make this hand deal 8. That's like, I think how I thought through that correctly. They're going to get the Endless Arrow, but like it's fine as long as we're presenting lethal. It's still a big deal versus Ranger, and if they try to block with New Horizon, right, things fall apart. So we won't show them everything. Why is there dragons in the sideboard? We'll get to that, Scott. Don't go anywhere. Once I play against a Fi, we'll bring in the spice. You're thinking more straightforward and assuming this Lexi is going to try to get cards out of your hand and will ignore auras now. I think that's generally what they're going to try to do as well. The issue was, like, they actually had an opportunity to shut out my damage. It was actually... Ball was in their court if I say no blocks. They get a lot of agency over my board state in that specific scenario. So I want to try to outplay that. And give them no, like, you know, good decision. And make them flounder. Because you're right, like, this game does feel like they do just have to start losing. They are probably floundering, but we want to keep it that way. Okay, so this hand is, no matter what, going to always be able to pay for Burn Them All, so that's a blue there. We'd love to drop a Shimmers as well, so these blues become priority. If the Pierce stays, then this becomes priority, but then we don't do anything with Oasis. So that becomes a little awkward. So let's just see where they attack. Being able to just throw 8, though, against a Ranger it feels very nice. 1 second, gotta do math. All good. All good. Win-win, says Gaddy. Is it possible? Can I actually, like, win on a dirty illusionist? I don't know, guys. We might have to scrub this one from the record. This isn't how it's supposed to be. I think, like, in terms of heroes that I'm, like, super happy, like, let's say I go to an event and I'm not streaming it, and I just, like, am on the feature match. First and foremost, I'd love to get caught winning with Levia, like, first and foremost, right? Like, get me on camera winning with Levia, please, for the love of God. It, like, barely ever happens. But that's what I would want first and foremost. Secondly, I'd take, like, an Azalea win. You know, I've been rocking with Azalea. We got that game out there on the Flesh and Blood official channel where I was playing against Dan Rakowski. Obviously, matchup was like a little tilted towards Azalea anyway. Azalea versus Vi, that is a good Azalea matchup. But I'm not that good an Azalea player, so it still felt good to win. Okay, so that is their entire turn, though, right? So, like, I am free to just say, I take it. Like, what else punishes this, right? This is their turn. So I can just do the turn I wanted to. And if anything crazy happens, I do have Oasis. Yeah, I mean, that's not enough damage to kill me. It's good damage, but we're vastly ahead. We can ignore this. All right. So we want to drop the Shimmers. And then it'll be nice to get the Oasis in Arsenal, because if we do draw all blues now, we do have one last hand before second cycle, and we have drawn a ton of red, so I would expect, I think there's like maybe one more sand cover and then 3 blues is probably the last hand. And if that's the case, then the Oasis with a blue can pay for a lot of defense with Ironhide Footsteps. Oh, yes, yes. Ryan makes an amazing point, though. Once Riptide comes out, like, I really might just stop everything and play Riptide. I am madly in love with that hero. I've even started gaining weight so I can pull off a Riptide cosplay. Like, I've already got, like, rotted out hands, you know, like, we're getting there. I'll just replace this one with a hook or whatever it goes. Whatever happens. Swung with sweeping because it gets buffed by Pierce. That's a good point, actually. Yeah, because then that's 3. And that would have just pushed lethal here. One more time, right? He gets one more card out. I still think this is a pretty secure spot for us to be in. But that's a very good point. Pierce. Pierce gives +2. I clearly do not have that stuck in my mind. That is a very good point. What draws me to Riptide? I just love the idea of traps. What did I say? What did I say? What did I say? Clip it. I don't know. Can you clip it on YouTube? I said, what is my last hand? My last hand of the deck is sand cover +3 blues. I'm not even tracking. I don't even play this deck. I was right. Oh, that feels so good. That feels so good. My brain is just like pulsing with fab. Like, I've just got like I can just feel it. I can just feel those things. Oh, that makes me feel so good. Some legitimacy, please. Some legitimacy. All right. Whew. All right, there goes my ego. So I'm inflated. I'm the best player in the world, confirmed. Okay, is this... So, like, at this point, right, like, this is when I could get blown out by the buff cards if we didn't have stuff like Sandcover Oasis. So, once again, I'm inclined to say no blocks, because this is going to present 12. No matter what, like, we wouldn't block here. We wouldn't play the sand cover in that instance anyway. So let's play the sand cover now. I don't think there's like a weird interaction that really matters otherwise. We take 3. Yeah, we throw 12. Wow, this is crazy. I loved the back and forth of this game. Footsteps sucked. Footsteps saved us one life. And we could have just blocked with Ironhide that turn because we're ending the game without using it. So that definitely should have been Mage Masters to actually use the aura hands when we found them. But wow, what a board state. It is so sneaky to start stealing the board state this way. It's like, oh, it's just an aura. It cost me 0. I don't know what the big deal is. Shimmers does mean 13. I did swing burn them all first. I forgot, but I did swing burn them all first. So we can recuperate. This deck does back and forth so well. No joke, I own everything to play this deck other than Footsteps, so like in theory, I could YOLO it at the PTI event this weekend in Charlotte. I kind of do feel like playing Levia at the PTI event, just because, right? Like it's the last hurrah before Outsiders, and I'm very convinced that she will be madly unplayable in Outsiders. GG's opponent. GG's. So I kind of do want to give her that showing. One last hurrah. But this is the other kind of deck where I'd say, oh, you know, let's get a little spicy and just take it. GG, I'll let them know. I streamed this game if you want to go back and watch it. Let me make sure they know. I don't enjoy saying these kinds of things because, like, I don't want to oversell myself, but, like, especially with the Patreon, or not the Patreon, well, I guess it is tied to Patreon. Like, I have those things unlocked with, like, the sleeves. I've got, like, the cosplay thing hovering over the lobby of Talishar. Like, it feels like a lot. I get it. But to be fair, the devs reached out to me and they're like, hey, we want to preview this feature. Do you want to use it? I didn't go out of my way to set that up, but it is a lot. It's very showy. So I don't want to, like, force it down people's throats, but sometimes people do enjoy going back and looking at games. Okay, so sideboard. We didn't get to it. Excited for Charlotte. Are you going to be there, Allison, or just stream? Charlotte will be fun, says Pierre. Same question. Be there or just watch the stream? Either way, it'll be a blast. You haven't figured out when Footsteps work, says Darth Prentice. Well, Dromai's in your picture. You got to have figured it out at least more than me. But here's the deal with the sideboard. And check this. It's actually, I think, big brain. Does it work? Probably 0%. But here's the idea, right? When you're playing against aggro with Iris Dromai, the aura plan is just too slow. It's too slow, and the aggro decks right now also just clear auras really well. Fi clears them. Viserai clears them. Briar clears them. So you can't just play your normal game plan into those decks. You get rolled by the damage, and you get rolled by their ability to still just aura clear willy-nilly. So what can you do to make those matchups better? The parts that go really well in those matchups are your 2-card hands, where you can throw 9, you can throw 7 value off Tunic, 8 value potential, like those hands work really well, right? What else can be a 2-card hand that works really well? You start to run a little dry. There are a lot of good illusionist cards. You could just throw in more like Enigma Chimeras or whatever if you just want a 2-card 8. But Dromai specifically can include dragons, the 2-card hand dragons like Vinserikai, Necria. This one is a bit bigger, Invoke Dracona Optimi. But in theory, if you can turn a 2-card hand into Invoke Vinserikai, that is just another 2-card 9 that they can, that at that point they do have to spend at least 1 damage to clear, which is different than if you just threw like a Phantasmaclasm. They don't need to spend anything on their own turn to clear that 9 damage. So it forces like a little bit more interaction, and since you weren't actually swinging with the auras anyway, you might as well run Storm. It just lets you have these 2-card hands of like swing 9, stick Vinserikai. And then Necria, in a way, just becomes a weapon. If you can just play Necria, it's not going to be good value immediately. But whenever you block 4 and then swing 4, block 4 cards, swing 4, as long as you've swung twice, that was a 2-card hand for 8. That's generating you Ash, which is, I mean, albeit like pretty tricky to play these other 2-card hand dragons. So I'm down to like pretend it works, right? I'm down to pretend this works. So let's see. I mean, maybe we'll get a CC deck, or not a CC deck. We'll get a aggro deck, and that is my YouTube channel. That is not the deck. Also, hats off to Phil McKay, who told me about that idea. This isn't his exact deck list, but it is his general idea. I sought him out for coaching for the PTI event this weekend. I was like, dude, if I just like give you some money, will you just tell me what deck to play at the PTI event? And he told me this deck. A version of this deck. I had my own tweaks. Like I can't just like straight net deck. Maybe he was right. The deck's pretty sick. This idea is pretty intriguing at least, and I'm not sure it's been done before. Don't hate this plan, says Scott. It's a little, that's a blessing right there. That's a it's passed. It is past the Howling Minds Scott. And he's like the Iris Dromai guy. Feels good. The tech that you do recommend right now over medium blue is Last Ditch Effort. Interesting. Over a medium blue. So the blues that are like pretty mid, like the go again ones all seem good. This generates Ash on turn 0. What does that mean? That probably means like Phantasmal Haze is the blue that like doesn't quite work. It's a 2-card 6, but if that's all you're doing with your turn, you probably should have just done something else. So that probably means replace Phantasmal Haze with Last Ditch Effort. Let's try it. Last Ditch. Oh. Wait, what? What happened here? What? Oh, Young? Oops. How did this happen? Did I click the wrong lobby? Can I not leave? There we go. Also wins 1. All right, let's make that change though. Last Ditch, deck. Let me take this. Deck link. That is public. Oh, the format was open format. Oh, that's why. So we want competitive CC. There we go. That makes sense. That was the issue. Dunebreaker was the cut for you. I don't know. I feel like there are situations where the go again is deeply relevant over just like a 2-card 6. Because if you don't have auras, it can be hard to do... Like, it's hard to scale up your damage, right? On like a high blue hand. If you're given the room. Like, you obviously wouldn't block around keeping these guys. We'll try this for now. But that does make sense, right? Phantasmal Haze as a blue, at worst, also makes a shield in like a Guardian matchup. So that's probably better than making an Ash on Destruction. But then that's better than Spears every time, right? So then Spears is probably the cut. So the blues might just all be wrong in this version. I don't know. I don't know. Last Ditch gives you plenty of bonus game in the matchups that are going very long. I'm still not unsure which blue is worth the cut, though. It's definitely not Sweeping Blow as you have dragons. Yeah. Sweeping Blow... I mean, if you can start with just sweeping pitch a red, you're almost set with dragons, like, for the rest of the game. All you really need to do is, like, make that first Necria. Just make a Necria. That's your weapon. It generates Ash. And you're good to go. Same for, like, Sand Cover in your other matchups. Opponents, where art thou? Oh, hi. Alright, well, this is not an aggro matchup. This is a normal aura matchup. In fact, it's so normal that I think I just don't even change anything. Like, why would I put Phantasmaclasm in? That just gets popped. So I'm pretty sure, like, you play this list, and that is all you do. It is against Bravo, though, so now that's tricky. Do I care more about having Crown or being able to double aura? I probably care more about double aura. That makes sense. They're not the deck that always CNC pummels. That's more of Oldham's thing. So I could see just all this. We should just get ahead of the game with aura generation. So we'll leave all that in the deck and just try it. See what happens. Okay, we can even start the game with some Ash, even on defense. Haze Bending is another one that kicks off the aura game pretty well. It replaces itself, which is super juicy. Test. Okay. Opponent is just thinking. Wasn't sure. They did go a little bit above 60, so they're probably expecting like the normal Dromai matchup and just ran every 6 they could. That would make sense. Would make sense. One of the reasons I stopped playing Dromai so much as like my second deck was because it does take a lot of time to perfect the Guardian matchup. As we saw when Tarek played against Dark Odious, you can win Dromai into very good Guardian players. And Fino will say the same thing. Fino is fine with the Guardian matchup, but he's a very good player. To catch up to their level of knowledge in that matchup and win by the margins they do is still like very slim. It just doesn't feel worth it for me. So just stop playing Dromai. Really like the deck, but it's a funny thing when you play Dromai and enjoy like the aggro matchups more than the Guardian matchups. That just didn't seem quite right, and I couldn't throw all my time into it. So we took a break. But I really did love Dromai for the longest time. I thought she was going to be in my ProQuest deck, honestly. Hello? Is it bugged? Hello, opponent? This is odd because I feel like Talishar has the inactive player thing, and it would have kicked in by now. So I'm not sure what's happening. Yeah, this is what I mentioned about the 59 cards in deck. It's probably because they took every 6. Hello, Talishar? I mean, we'll wait a little bit longer because Talishar does have like a timeout feature where if you don't do anything, it should mark you as inactive. So I would think that kicks in. That way, don't you lose rating or something if you just quit? Not like it super matters, but all right, I think Talishar is just bugged. Like, it should have the pop-up, so we're just going to go back to the homepage. Sorry, opponent. It's on stream. Don't blame me. Something was wrong. Oh, oops. That's not the deck link. That is the game link. All right, let's try again. Man, me and Talishar just don't vibe anymore, I guess. Used to jam games on this bad boy, and all day yesterday. Issues with the client. Running into him again. Iris has been your pet deck for so long. Working on it and a few other brews for Pro Tour season. Woo! That is a lot of faith for a very new metagame. I personally have just not even worried about Pro Tour. Like, I'm going to be playing in the Pro Tour Baltimore, but especially as someone who just like YOLOs Levia all the time, I'm probably not the right person to take advice from in terms of like deck prep, but I don't think I'm playing Levia at the Pro Tour. And even so, I'm just waiting to see what Outsiders brings. Just waiting. We'll know pretty much the entire set, except maybe the Fable, come Monday. So next week's probably the right week to go hard and find new decks. Nothing set in stone, mostly just tinkering with concepts before Outsiders. Well, hey. Traps would affect auras, wouldn't they? Yeah, they would, right? Because like all Iris is doing is letting you attack with it as a weapon. Yeah, so traps would work against aura swings. There's like no weird ruling there. Okay. Oh, another one of these. Hello? All right, well, this is someone who wasn't expecting Iris Dromai specifically. My opponent was asking for Iris Dromai. So this could be a Lexi that just doesn't expect Iris Dromai at all. Might spice it up a little bit. Let's see. Might. So what do we want to do? Last thing we did was take out the prismatic shields. Oh, they left. Okay, well, if they were expecting normal Dromai, they probably just didn't want that matchup anyway. We'll let it pass. Yeah, so many Rangers. Oh yeah, I was talking about in terms of like decks I'd rather win with on stream. It's definitely like Levia number 1, Azalea number 2, but I think one of the more impressive decks to win with is Lexi. Like whenever you see a Lexi deck win, it's most likely not because of a high roll. It's because the player just put on a masterclass in like the pitch stack that was required to win, or just hello. Or like just the perfect layering of disruption, playing really smart with like an off turn to set up a 6-card hand, yada yada. Like, oh, this is the same Bravo. Did the last lobby bug out? It was your turn, but the whole thing froze for like 3 min. This is the same Bravo as before, just double checking. So I feel like it'd be very impressive. Like that's an accolade to just like win with Lexi on stream. Against like not a free matchup. Yeah, wouldn't let him play? Okay, well then let's give this a go again. I am down to play against the Bravo for reals. And this time I can go first. I like that change. All right, let's see it. Maybe we'll run into the same bug, though. Taste my own medicine, just complaining. And then I'll go first this game, and then I'll freeze up. Oh, come on. Okay, nope. Cards are green. That seems like we're pretty much good to go. This is rough, though. No opportunity to make an aura. And the only way to make an Ash is to lose Fighting Spirit, which is otherwise my arsenal card. Ooh, this is a weird one, especially since we don't have Crown. Whatever we put in Arsenal is pretty important. Pretty important, because we can't just cycle it out ever. Yikes. Oh, free. This round's on me. That's fair. I guess we do start with that. Oh, in my head, this was a last-ditch effort. Oh my god. In my head, I saw 2 last-ditch. Like, look at the art from this perspective. Like, they're... well, maybe that's just my bad. Oh, you're right. Free this rounds. So that should be the lead. What do I feel that I'll draw, though? Like, I kind of want to start with the red pitch, just to make an Ash. But then if we don't draw anything for Arsenal, I guess this is next best, and it's awful. I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. I can't pitch the red like that. Okay. We got Pierce, and we'll Arsenal Fighting Spirit. Yep. I'm fine with this. Oh, sorry. Actually, let me undo that. Let me think about that just a little bit more. If I throw this, it demands cards out of hand, because I did give them this round's on me. So I think I do have to do that. Arsenal Pierce Reality. Yeah. I do have to do that. I can't give him 5 cards. Yeah, never mind. So we'll just wait on the aura. It could have been right, though. If I drop Pierce, even on a 5-card hand, what are they likely to do? If they clear the Pierce, then, like, that's their 5-card hand. Okay, I apologize. You're probably hearing my work emails come through. In fact, I probably really should check that, but I need to make sure it's off screen. Nope. Oh, shoot. Don't look at that. That was on screen. I'll just do that later. Okay, they had Zealous. Oh, so actually, we made the right call. We made the right call. They had Zealous. So they could have still pressured face and cleared aura. So we'd like to see that on defense. Like, why not? We'll put Last Ditch on the bottom. Can't wait to see Azuri. Hopefully tomorrow or Friday they reveal the new heroes. Woo! Well, they just came out swinging, didn't they? Came out swinging. Without a good armor suite, like, what can we do? Not much. I guess our best bet is we can block with Brothers and make an Ash out of it. Block with Brothers, make an Ash out of it, lose 2 cards, still drop Pierce. Seems pretty decent. So I guess we'll go that route. Take 6, whatever. They took 2. Not the worst to just see a crippling out like this. Keep a blue to attack with... Oh, Wave of Reality makes a shield. Ah, you're right. Well, there was no way for me to guarantee keep a blue, though, right? Because the crippling's going to go through. So it discards 2 at random. So it's a bit of a risky play, but there's a world where I'd discard both blues anyway. But I do see your point there. Good point. Good point. That would have been me just basically saying no blocks, and then hope that I keep 2 blues, and that way I can swing shield Pierce, I guess. But then what I do with the other blue? That is a bit interesting. It was a 2 out of 3. The 1 out of 3 lets you Arsenal. Finals Fighting Spirit. Block with Fate. Yep. I do see that. Well, we did keep the Spectral Shield, though, so all is not lost. They set up a blue Thunderquake. If we want to make another Ash right now, I don't really know how much of a priority that is. We could Sweeping into Spectral into Drop Passing, or we can be a little bit card inefficient and just swing Spectral into drop passing into Arsenal Sync. That's probably better. That's probably better. Yeah. All right, let's do that. Oh, bless you. If we can get the Sync in Arsenal, there's a chance that maybe we block around keeping the Spectral again, and then we can maybe get an insane turn out of Crown. Tunic to Sweeping, that's also possible, right? Like, it just makes another Ash. I don't hate that. Yeah, I mean, this comes up really for Oasis, which we haven't seen yet. So I don't mind just like having it up for if we draw the Oasis. So what's worth more? We also haven't seen a sand cover. So having the double Ash. I think we'll go for it. I'm willing to see what happens on this kind of thing. Just make an Ash. It's kind of just up to like the draw sequence of the deck. We haven't seen any sand covers or Oasis. So we don't know which one we'd see first anyway. But I'd feel more comfortable just having that second Ash, so we can't just draw into like sand cover, no way to make an Ash for a long period of time. Draw another sand cover, no Ash. That scenario feels a bit worse than at least the flexibility of an Oasis. Okay, sand cover. Okay. They went for Showtime. Makes the sense. Makes the sense. This is a big deal hand, though. I don't think they really go above our block. We've got Sync plus Sand Cover, which is going to block the 8 here. Oh, they threw a Crippling. Jesus Christ. My gosh, opponent. Slow down. But even so, right, we've got 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. We can block the Spectral again. I think that's worth it, right? And we still swing with Spectral drop Shimmers? That seems pretty good. So we'll block here. Funny enough, even if this was dominated, we had to play around it, which is kind of cool. So is this even a situation where we care about Crown on Shimmers for double? Or Crown on Spectral for double Shimmers? I don't think so. We don't have to burn them all to really make double Shimmers that crazy. I don't think we're going to do that. There we go. Alright. Alright. Save for a Haze Bending. That makes sense. That's when it really starts getting out of hand because they just committed to clearing an aura and you make a shield anyway, rather than just losing the shield that I've been protecting. I like that. That makes sense. So we'll just swing, drop Shimmers. Yeah. Okay. I wasn't speaking for Mage Master. I was actually thinking about Crown. But I like what Veda said about when to use it. It's more punishing that way. Ooh, okay, weird one. Weird one. We've got the Burn Them All Shimmers. Feels pretty good. We like that. We do start liking those options. Just drop Burn Them All, swing with Shimmers. We do need to keep a blue for that. But we'll develop one more aura. We'll have probably like Oasis and Arsenal. We're blocking with Miraging. I don't know. Okay, they actually send this whole thing at Shimmers. Wow. So I think we get free damage then with this full hand. We just send it. We play out Burn Them All, swing with it into Pitch for Miraging. And then like, I mean, they can't pop it anyway, but if they did, that'd be pretty crazy. Yeah, I like that a lot, I think. Alright, so now, I don't feel like we don't have that many reds. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't have that many reds. So the Burn Them All won't stick, really. I think we still play it, though. We definitely still play it. Doesn't the aura attack eat the phantasm removal? Says Pink Robin. The first illusionist attack. Yeah, that's true. But either way, if they pop this, that's a win, right? So that's a good point, though. They can pop it. So maybe they mess up that. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Yes, good point. That Spectral Shield has just been around for so long. I wish we'd been swinging with it every turn. I think we've only swung with it like twice. But that's crazy value off Wave. Good job, Wave. Good job. I love this card. All right. I think this is the kind of thing where in person, they probably pop it, and I'm like, okay, duplicate aura, and they're like, oh, what? I'm Talishar. I bet you the opponent will undo it. I do think they will undo this, because I think they thought it didn't have Phantasm because of passing as well. But if they don't want to undo it, I'll take it. In this situation, it's best to clone passing. Yeah, it's like not the biggest deal, but like I don't want to start double banishing with Burn Them All, right? I think. There's just no point. We don't have enough reds to supplement that. So we'll just take the free passing. A lot of reds on the... Oh, this is my pitch zone. Or this isn't my pitch zone, rather. Oasis passing. Do this. All right, they're on aura clear duty. This is still totally fine. We have Tunic, so we could go swing, swing, drop, passing. I think since they've started to commit to aura clear, dropping another aura to stay ahead of it feels really good instead of using this for damage. It's like I'm kind of down for that, I think. I just want to stay ahead on auras, pretty sure. Oh, wish I had more blues. Wish, wish, wish. Okay. We still swung 8. We still developed another aura. Funny enough, it's another passing. But they're giving us a lot of cards. Like, they're going to keep the one for Anothos swing, right? So the damage isn't really landing, but we're churning through their deck. And that's probably something you can do consistently in this kind of matchup. Like, if you get them on the back foot, you can go for Fatigue win con, and we have the last ditch for that. So we'll see. Another Burn Them All, but we don't really have reds. We don't really have reds. We also drew a lot of reds. Not great. Not great. So I guess we get one swing off here into Miraging and then Arsenal Burn Them All. If LSS releases new Prism, are you planning to play her? Acervo, no. 0%. I don't have a real affinity for Illusionist. Dromai is a unique one because I obviously play Levia a lot, and one of the more unique things about Levia was the fact that she could summon Blasmafet. And Blasmafet is an ally, right? And back in the day, Chain definitely got more respect for like being able to summon his ally, Urser. But Levia was, you know, that was obviously my pet deck for the longest time. And whenever I could summon Blasmafet, I just felt so good about it. And so I fell in love with the ally mechanic. Thanks to Levia. And so Dromai is just like the next hero that's letting me play with allies. It's not so much that it's an illusionist that I enjoy. But this version of Dromai actually kind of completely negates everything I said, because this version of Dromai is basically like discount Prism. So I guess just, you know, don't trust me. Don't trust my words. This version of Dromai is just because I kind of want to know what it's like to play it. Not like I'm really in love with this playstyle. It feels very good, though. It's a value deck, and Levia, at the end of the day, is a value deck. Even if Prism starts to create angels like Soraya. Now, see, that would make it more interesting. I do own a Soraya because she's an ally. Well, you know, that would be the way I play Prism. It is true. All right, so this went at my face, which starts to feel really sad. Wow, it lines up now that this happens? This would have been the kind of turn where it's like, yeah, clear an aura, and then boom, I drop, you know, prismatic shield, these things. Wow, that hurts. That really hurts. Like, I don't want to lose the prismatic shield. So how do I go about trying to keep it ever? I guess I don't. It would be like I let this hit. I discard, just like drop Pierce. God, that feels awful. I guess it'd be like drop Pierce, burn them all, Arsenal, Prismatic. But I have no reds, so playing burn them all out seems awful. This is a weird one. Yeah, if Findles was Arsenal to burn them all, yeah, you're absolutely right. That's probably a very good call because the burn them all was never going to be playable that soon anyway, because the reds got perfectly banished by this last burn them all tick. So that one going in deck would have made more sense right here, because it's not like the burn them all broke and left 4 reds in graveyard. I think I'm willing to just lose the prismatic. That could be very wrong. But we do have Last Ditch as like a win con, right? In theory. In theory. This is going to set us back quite a bit. But it gets another red in graveyard. They pummel. Okay. That was a turn out of the opponent. We lose our burn them all here. We get another prismatic. But we still don't want to play this burn them all. Yeah, this burn them all in Arsenal, definitely not the right call. So I don't just want to slam it without it sticking like at least 4 turns. I could play the prismatic and not discard. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because at that point, it's just saving life. Yeah, it would just be saving life. Like, I'm losing the shields anyway, which is why I didn't play it. But yeah, it would just save me life. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. And it still would have gone to graveyard, actually, for the burn them all later. You are just right. Just right, my friend. I hope the angel allies aren't broken. Like, Dromai's in a spot where she's very... okay, some people claim she's, like, very unbalanced. Like, why was she ever printed in her current state? Yada, yada. You see the Twitter discourse all the time. I think Dromai's fine. She's in a very fine spot. I do wish she beat the Guardians, like, more consistently, because you'd think that that's why you're bringing Illusionist into a metagame, is to just prey on Guardian, prey on Wizard. But she does struggle a bit into the Guardians. Even at perfect play. Like, it can just happen. So I would hope, like, the new Prism is just literally that role. Like, she's the Illusionist that beats Guardians. Like, please, just keep her in that lane specifically, and not just too egregious across the board. I'd like that a lot. Alright, at this point, we've got 2 reds in graveyard. I know that I'll be using the sand cover if that's what I put in Arsenal. So that'd put me at 3 reds in graveyard, which is only making Burn Them All stick for 2 turns, which I don't like. But I want to get some development here. We can still do this. I think I'm going to keep the sand cover in hand instead of overpitch it, just because it'll help protect the spectral shields. This Burn Them All in Arsenal has really, really thrown the game, I think. Doesn't feel like over by any means, but the difference is really incredible when you don't get to just free cycle this out because of Crown of Providence. Also, them turning on me with Terrace Under, just a great play, regardless. It was just a tough spot to answer, no matter what. They'd been playing Aura Clear like the entire time, and then boom, they get the... They just had it when I didn't have a Sync Below or anything ready to stop it. Very good play. Sand cover. If they don't kill passing, if they try to go face to clear the spectrals, then like that's good value on Phantasmal Haze at least. And this turn we'll get a lot of reds in graveyard to start making Burn Them All look more playable. Let's see, that's 2 cripplings, all 3 cripplings down, 1 zealous down, a pummel, a CNC, a rouse. So they still have 4 ways of going wide. They still have 2 ways of going tall. They've got dominate everywhere if they want it. But at least the cripplings won't ever swing the game massively anymore. Also being like the tallest attack that they could dominate to potentially kill shields on. All right, so all they do is kill passing. Cool. They killed passing, so I guess we get a free 5 damage out of the turn. We'll just... I mean, it is more damage to do E-Strike Go again. We could also pitch all these plus Tunic to just swing 4. Doesn't feel great. This also means this gets popped now, though. So maybe the safest play is just swing shield with the other red 3s. But this does make a Spectral Shield, so I guess that does still keep us ahead. It's just 2 cards to make a Spectral Shield take a card out of hand. Huh. Also getting a red engrave? We could also just swing shield into E-Strike for 7. That way it's sticky damage. They can't pop it. Nah, we're going the first play. Oops, that's the wrong one. This buff power. Oh wait, oops. Oh my god. Oh my god. Sorry. That was supposed to be go again. Go again. I'll do this. I'll still do this. There's also the chance that they just don't have a way to pop it. We haven't seen a lot of Rouses, Zealouses, Pummels yet. Obviously a lot of Auras. Like if that's the case, then maybe they don't pop it. Also with them committing equipment means maybe they don't want to block from hand this turn. So this could throw them for a loop. I'm worried now though because we bottomed the Sand Cover. Sand Cover was going to be a great way to try to protect Spectrals because our Armor Suite doesn't. I do worry about that. But we're also primed for an Oasis. Okay, so they pop it. Okay, well, Tunic plus Brothers is probably a decent way to go about things. Interesting turn here. We can block 4, 5, 6, 7, lose 2 Spectrals. Lose 2 Spectrals, play out, burn them all. Swing. Play out, burn them all, play Pierce. That is double aura. Rather than 4 damage right now. That's probably more relevant. And then we Arsenal Prismatic Shield. So I think we do that. Oh, oops. Oops, undo. Sorry. Sorry. Meant to activate Tunic. Oh, wait, hold up. Wait, don't change your play, opponent. Just play the Spinal. There you go. Mm-hmm. Oh, they actually didn't make a Seismic Surge before, so they should have done that anyway. That is fine. It's not like they could have bluffed Pummel. Okay. Let's do this. Now we'll do this. 7. We're gonna lose 2 shields. Oh no. Don't love it. But at least our red count is getting healthier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus this one 7. So that's about getting us there. We want the Burn Them All to stick for, 3 turns is only 6 cards, so ideally we want 4. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. You drew an oasis right when we used our tunic. They're going face, though. Oh, never mind. Finally a haze. Yeah. That definitely would have been a nice one to see. They go for Rouse here. So this is some of their strong go again, because now they're pressuring killing my shields and then also killing Pierce. And I don't love that. I don't love it at all. It's also kind of funny. We don't have the blues to be able to go like Mage Master, Shimmers, swing, burn them all, drop haze. God, that would be so sexy. We can't do it. We're short the blues. That would have been so cool. And I don't think we're going to be able to keep any Spectrals to maybe do the crown thing, where we can swing Spectral, crack, drop Shimmers, swing, burn them all. Nah, yeah, this really sucks for short the blues here. Okay, coming in for 7. The Oasis is also super awkward here. Well, we'll use the Fate, at least. And they pummel. Okay, well, we're going to get rid of the Oasis. Not the biggest deal. Like, the Oasis was never doing anything on this hand anyway, so we're just going to Fate for 4, discard Oasis. Phantasmal Haze, not really what I'm looking for. I just want a lot of blues, I think. Yeah, so we don't mind losing this. There we go. Now they just hammer, kill a Pierce. But we can at least swing, burn them all, drop Shimmers. Or no, oh, they passed turn. Okay, they passed turn. Interesting. Well, we can either go, well, we're never going for 8. We're going for 4 drop, but we're keeping another aura on board. So how do we maximize the fact that they left Pierce in play? If we drop Shimmers, we're basically saying you must kill Shimmers, otherwise burn them all stacks up. If we're dropping Haze, then we're saying you must kill Haze, but then Haze sticks another shield. So I think Haze is better in this situation. Shimmers has more potential to come up with like a Mage Master turn, so I think I'll drop the Haze. Well, I don't know. Shimmers like actually forces them to have an off turn. I think they're likely to just kill an aura anyway, which just is an off turn. I don't know. I think we'll do this though. I just want a turn of like massive damage. Just convert my hand. Lots of blues for 4 each. I want it to come up. Yeah, they're going to kill either. Well, I think they're always going to make that play, right? But a Haze is still potentially, I'll still go face because I set something up. Shimmers is, no, does not matter. You kill Shimmers. Because if Haze is what's in play, they can make the same choice later to say, I'll just kill Haze next turn, which is probably still a win for me. But it's not like Haze is an immediately impactful effect on the board like a Shimmers would be, is the minor difference, right? There we go. They can't leave Haze while you have Burn Them All, because you can give up Burn Them All for an extra Spectral for a bigger turn. Oh, that's funny. You're right. They cannot leave Haze up because I'm going to break Burn Them All on purpose, dang it. That's pretty funny, though. I like that. I definitely did not think of it. Once again, we have 2 reds, though. Then I get double Spectral Shields out of Haze. I do have another Haze now, though. So if they go face and I just drop another Haze, it's doing the same thing for us. And I think they might be going face. Just little birdie done told me, I think they're going face. And we have Fate plus Sandcover here, which feels pretty good. Let's see it. Let's see it, opponent. It should have been Shimmers. Veda, it should have been Shimmers. Look what's happening here. I should have dropped Shimmers, because look what would have been happened. They just ignored it. Oi. This is crazy. What a great response we have to this. Even though we threw on the burn them all arsenal, we're getting our way back in because of turns like these. Very nice. Very, very nice. This is still really compounding, though. Because they now skipped haze, we drew specifically another haze to punish that. Feels very cool. I like it. Let's put that sink to the bottom. They're definitely going to be clearing auras next turn. There's no way that sink gets value. Double haze is massive, massive. Absolutely. Because now maybe I do purposely kill burn them all. The play you mentioned perhaps has even more legs now. I think it does. I think I actually kill burn them all to get 2 spectrals. That's funny. That's really funny. Wow. I like that a lot. I like that a lot, actually. I wonder if Talishar lets me do that. Can I just, like, pass on burn them all? Is that the right play, though? Is it actually the right play to get double spectrals going? I think it must be. Like, it has to be the right play line. If they keep going face, like, they're going to lose regardless. But what I'm doing by letting burn them all die is making them, like, want to go face a little bit more, because then they get value killing the spectrals. But, like, then they ignore the auras, and the auras eventually win. So, I think I do let it die. So, can I pass? Oh, God. Veda, thank you. Look at this. I'm, like, channeling all your tutelage. This is incredible. This is getting incredible. Now they take this off turn. My board is massive. I drew 3 reds again, though. 3 reds again, though. I did. Oh my god, they didn't even kill the haze! They hit Pierce! Oh no, opponent! Opponent, not like this! Not like this, opponent. This is a very stressful situation for my opponent. They're getting bailed, though, because I can't actually afford everything and more with this very resource-light hand. Very resource-light. And I do want to drop the 3rd haze. So all I'm going to do is swing... is there ever a chance I want to use Tunic and keep, like, the sink to protect the spectrals? That could be a consideration. No, it's pretty likely to actually draw the Oasis here. I think there is one more Oasis in this last hand of the game. So I think I'm going to keep that up. Now burn them all into haze, destroying the burn them all. Yeah, should I do it again? Just, like, punt my 3rd burn them all to just get 3 shields? Okay, that's actually, like, there's probably a world where that is the right play. That probably was something to truly consider. I didn't. But there's a world where that's probably insane, right? There's a world. That's pretty nuts if I did that. That's, like, really nuts, right? Dang, I'm bad. I'm bad. I think that was right. Oh no, I was wrong here. So I have seen... Wow. Oh, I didn't check my... Keep it up. I didn't check my banish. That's where the Oasis went. I was thinking I only pitched 2, so there was a 3rd one coming. But the 3rd one had been played and banished. Okay, so they go for me. They're likely to pummel it. At least we can get the prismatic out. Oh man, that's, like, really rough, though. We're going to lose all the shields if this is a pummel. And we can't really turn this hand for much. I guess I just say, like, no blocks, right? I say no blocks. I cast out the prismatic. I discard E-Strike to the pummel and still swing 8. Is probably right. And if it isn't a pummel, then, like, cool, right? Yeah, so we are going to get the prismatic out of here. If only haze triggered on spectrals. Rip. Rip, rip, rip. Triple haze is still something else, though. Still something else. All right, so they're running blue pummels. Something to note. They probably pitched that before. I just didn't see it. As far as auras, we should be really healthy on what's left still. It's like double shimmer, right? And as soon as they start killing the auras, we're going to have the ability to do some crazy stuff with shimmers. Like be able to swing the spectral, crack it, drop a shimmers with crown into swing with a new thing that gets the +1. We can also do like the Mage Master, pay for shimmers, swing, shimmers +1 with go again. Feels pretty good. So I like still having those. There's the shimmers. How about an army of spectral shields? I've gone to the dark side. I'm enjoying it too much. Go face. Come on, go face. Wait, did they actually go face? There's no way, right? It says attack. There's no way they actually went face, right? What? I mean, I get to Oasis now and it feels really good. Interesting. And then I Oasis. Just make sure we get decent tunic value. Get the other red in there for when we find that last burn them all. That's going to last forever. Only take 2. No spectral shields to protect is the unfortunate part. Arsenalling Fate might be like a bit of a punt. But if my opponent's trying to go face, then like I guess we use this to eventually protect spectral shields. So it doesn't feel awful. Doesn't feel awful. I'll do it. If they hit Haze, I ended up with 5 auras. Might be lose-lose for opponent. That's fair. So then that makes more sense. If that's how they're thinking about it, I should put the Fate in Arsenal. Because they're going to keep skipping the opportunity to kill triple Haze. I think once I drop Shimmers, though, like, that does change. They do have to start respecting that. And then the Fate probably stops doing anything. YOLO. Opponent is definitely in a bad spot, Z. Oh, okay, here we go. Now we're actually bailed out. They did have 1 more Zealous and 1 more Rouse. So 2 more Zealous, to be fair. So those things probably always do go face. So something like Fate gets value. That's good. That is good. I believe it's Doom for the Bravo. It may be Doom for the Bravo, but it's not Doomsday, all right? I reserve that for Levia. Levia is the one who brings about Doomsday. You better not be saying Dromai does that. I'm sure I played this game way too slow, but whatever. I feel like I learned a lot from chat this game, and going slow means I had more opportunities to learn from you all, so I appreciate that. And that's triple shields. Sheesh. We're still drawing all these reds. I don't enjoy it. We can drop a passing. I don't actually know if I want to drop the passing. I think I have enough shields that I can just go Haze, Haze, E-Strike 7. And like that's just how I want to start presenting damage. I have enough. Yeah, actually Veda, I mean, the important part about what today's been for learning this deck is just how complicated some of the play lines like can be, some of the decisions to be made that I definitely wouldn't have read from the opposite side. Right? Like when you start playing opponents who have mastered their decks, you really need to know everything about what they can potentially do. I feel like I've been much better equipped after today's games with this deck because there's a lot to think about with this deck. It is not linear. It is not linear. It's a value deck. It's a value deck. It's playing very responsive to your opponent. But especially the importance of seeing like how tough hands can be. They're not always just 4 value per card. Like that's not like the draw every hand. And having to craft that down and still like stay ahead is pretty interesting. Now we've got the blues. Here we go. It's so versatile. Oh yeah. Definitely learning that. And we didn't even get to play the freaking dragons today. I do have a meeting in like 2 minutes, so I do have to end the stream right at 4. But it's been really fun. I've enjoyed this. So what deck Wednesday? What deck Wednesday? You never know. What deck? What deck will play? I'm sure next Wednesday I'll probably be on whatever wins the Battle Hardened, just as like a last hurrah of the deck that performed this format. Just like, why not? Give it some time in the spotlight. One last time before Outsiders pre-release weekend. Hopefully it's an exciting deck. Please, Lexi. Like, I want Lexi. I want to catch Lexi winning a Battle Hardened. The Lexi players that perform well at these things are so incredible. To play Lexi at top performance, like, all through a long day like that, just proves your mettle as a Fab player. Michael Hamilton, for one, right? Like, he loves Lexi. He's just very accepting of the fact that, like, some of her matchups are really bad, and, like, seeing a CNC makes you cry. And for those feel-bad reasons, he plays safer decks, but he loves Lexi, and I'd love to see him, or, like, Naib again. What's his name? Egan? Oh, God. There's Easton Douglas, I think, is the one who did really well with Lexi. Another fantastic player. Like, I want to catch more of their games on Lexi. I feel like they're really exciting for everybody. Next time should be Riptide. Oh, that's, you know what, Ryan? Great point, because February and Talishar, like, they put all this stuff up pretty much as soon as it's spoiled and let you play games. So we can probably do that. We can probably start brewing. No. We can probably start brewing some Riptide stuff. That'd be cool. Okay. Going through the motions here, opponent. Sorry. I do need to message my coworker that I will be a little bit late to this meeting. Work over Fab, true, but this meeting is pretty malleable. It's not super important that it happens at 4. I'm gonna be like 5 minutes late. Sorry. There we go. I said 5 minutes late, so we have like 4 minutes now to clean up this game. Definitely on me for playing slow. Let's just keep it going. Keep the party rolling. What a disgusting board state. And it just doesn't really get better. It scales worse. They kill 1 aura to give me 2 more. 3 more, actually, on the first one. Then 2 more. Then 1 more. Oh, opponent, I apologize. Oh, sure. Let's swing for 4 again. They can't say no blocks, because they would just die. I don't care about a new Shimmers. Or a new aura. Let's just make sure we trickle them to death, because I need to go. I probably could have cracked Crown for Shimmers there to get the +1 and, like, present lethal. That was better. It was better to kill an aura. Or kill a shield. Get the Shimmers. Swing for lethal. Oh well. Oh well. You know Easton? Used to play against him all the time in Colorado. Colorado is freaking stacked. You guys have an amazing scene out there. I went to that Denver Battle Hardened, and it was, like, harder than Worlds. It was incredible. Well, not harder than Worlds. It felt like Worlds because everyone who was in the States early for Worlds went to that Battle Hardened anyway. So you had, like, Matt Fulks, Phil McKay, a bunch of international players just, like, hanging at that Battle Hardened. And because it's a smaller scene, you just, like, got so concentrated with good players so quickly if you were doing well. It felt like Worlds. Oh my goodness gracious. What's with these reds? I know I pitched them at this point. I can't complain. I did pitch them. I did. Do we even have enough reds to, like, drop the burn them all? Do we even care about dropping the burn them all? Nah, I care about swinging 1 more time. Jeez. What's up, Tark? Man, Stan, played against you in San Jose in the Battle Hardened. You signed your E-Pot. Still played in Dory? Oh, that's awesome. Battle Hardened in San Jose, Dory. I played against Dory. What was that round? Was that round, like, 2? I feel like that was early in the day. I feel like. I could be wrong. I vaguely remember that. Round 3. Round 3. There you go. Okay, that's all blues, so we just do it. We just throw them now. Opponent, you're at 1, so this should be death. GG's. GG's. Crazy board. Crazy board. All right, we got it. What a grind. You actually probably have to play this deck pretty quickly in a timed game, because people definitely play slower into Illusionist. Like, there's just more decision points. So as the Illusionist player, since your win con doesn't come through, like, Dominate, it doesn't come through, like, Reckless Swing or something. Ugh, Levia things. You do need to force end the game. Interesting. Interesting to learn. Okay, that is going to be all, everybody. That is going to be all. All right, it took, I think, 22 turns to draw a 4 blue hand, but we did it, and because of that, we finally won. That puts me at 2-2 for the day, and that is going to be all. Like I mentioned, yes, there's a new stream schedule. I won't be able to stream tomorrow like I wanted to with my friends at the studio back here because I'm driving to Charlotte. But in Charlotte, I'll be bringing you the Battle Hardened, so it's a win-win, right? Thanks for tuning in. This was a lot of fun. Hopefully it's a regular thing, right? Veda says, he just messaged me saying he saw you in the chat. Oh, you know that guy. You know the Lexi was one of your locals. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, shoot. I gave him more practice to maybe beat you one day. But that's not going to happen, right? You are definitely a pro at this deck. All right. That is all, folks. Back to work. Have a good one.